What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. Blazers get a 113-108 victory over the Kings at the Kings Arena in overtime, thanks to Dame Dollar coming up big to end the fourth quarter with two big layups, and then he continued into the overtime period. Also, CJ McCollum hit a big shot for us in overtime to go ahead and wrap the game up. Let's get into the stats. Blazers go 39 for 90 for 43.3% on field goals. They shoot 9 for 32, 28% from three-point land. Not great numbers. They can't complain too much. We got the dub. We go 26 of 30 from the free throw line for 87%. We go 22. We get 22 assists out of the 39 field goals that we do have. So right around the average I'd like. I'd like it to get a little higher, but once again, I can't really complain because we got the dub. We had 56 rebounds, 10 offensive rebounds, 11 steals, 10 blocks, and 18 turnovers. For the Kings, they shoot 38% from the field on 44 of 115 shots. Terrible. They get 33% from three-point land on 11 of 33. They only shoot 12 free throws, and they make 9 of them for 75%. Of their 44 field goals, they get 24 assists. They have 53 rebounds, 14 offensive rebounds, 13 steals, 4 blocks, and 13 turnovers. As far as the individual stats go, Damian, he ends up finishing with 25 points on 8 of 21 shooting, 1 of 9 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw line. He was a plus 10. He had 1 offensive rebound, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 turnovers, and a steal. So he's definitely got to drop that turnover number down. Big Nurkic has arguably his best game as a Blazer, and probably his best game, in my opinion. He finishes up with 24 points on 5 of 10 shooting. He does most of his damage offensively from the line, scoring 14 points out of 16 attempted. He was a plus 8. He had 5 offensive rebounds, 23 rebounds total. He had 7 assists, 4 turnovers, 5 steals, and 5 blocks. So huge night for Nurk. CJ, while he didn't have a great night, he did finish with 16. As I said, he did hit a big basket in overtime. He ended up going 8 of 19 overall, 0 for 5 from the three-point land. So his shot was a little off again. And he went 0 for 2 at the free throw line. He left 1 short, and I know he don't like that. So next game out, I expect to see if he gets to the free throw line, some better numbers. He went plus 11. He ended up with 1 rebound, 2 assists, a turnover, and a block. Aminu was huge on the interior. He was a terror for Bihalika. He chipped in with 13 on 4 of 9 shooting, 3 of 5 from three-point land. He came up big in the fourth quarter, hit a big 3. He had 2 free throws, made both of them. He was a plus 8. He had an offensive rebound. He had 8 total rebounds, 2 assists, a turnover, and 2 blocks. Harkless, another big game for him, especially defensively. But he also chipped in with 11 points on 5 of 10 shooting, 1 of 2 from three-point land. Didn't take any free throws. Ended up with a plus 13. He had 1 offensive rebound, 9 total rebounds, no assist, a turnover, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. So huge night for Harkless defensively. The man was killing. And when the Blazers play defense like this, it's going to be tough to beat them, like I've been saying. Curry had his best game as a Blazer. He finished with 18 points, most of those coming in the first half, but they were huge. 6 of 9 overall, 4 of 6 from three-point land, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Ended up with a -5. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist, a turnover, and 3 steals. Zach Collins had the most points off the bench after Curry with 4. He shot 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point land. He ended up with -6. He had an offensive rebound, which was huge. He had 4 rebounds overall. He had an assist, and he had a turnover. Turner, he only took 1 shot, which he made for 2 points. He finished with a -6. He had 1 rebound, an assist, a turnover. So in his minutes, he was solid. Leonard, he shot twice and missed both. He ended up with a -3. He had 1 offensive rebound, which was big. He had 3 rebounds overall. He had an assist and 2 turnovers. Stauskas also missed both his shots from 3. He finished with a -5. He had an assist and a turnover. For the Kings, Buddy Hield led the way with 27 on 11 of 23 shooting. 5 of 8 from three-point land. He ended up with a -10. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 5 total rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, and he had a block. So big game for Buddy Hield. Bihalika finished with 14 on 4 of 12 shooting. He was pretty much off all night. He went 1 of 5 from the three-point land. He went 5 of 7 from the free throw line. He ended up with 5 offensive rebounds. He also had 16 rebounds total. So big night on the boards for him. He had 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and he also had a block. De'Aaron Fox also had another bad game offensively. He finished with 13 points on 6 of 19 shooting. He missed his one three-pointer. He had 1 free throw, which he made. He finished with a -9. He had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and 2 steals. Iman Shumpert finished with 9 points on 4 of 11 shooting. He had 1 of 4 from three-point land. He finished with a -6. He had 1 rebound, 3 assists, no turnovers, a steal, and a block. So solid effort defensively for Shumpert. Willie Cauley-Stein stunk the joint up last night. And Nurk was a very big reason why Cauley-Stein didn't do anything. He finished with 5 points, 2 of 14 shooting, and he went 1 of 2 from the foul line. He finished with a +2. He had 5 offensive rebounds, 11 total rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers, a steal. So solid effort on the boards, but everything else for Cauley-Stein, it was off. He was way off. The second leading man for the Kings was Bogdanovich coming off the bench. He was sizzling especially late. He was sizzling for them. He finished with 19, 7 of 19 shooting. He went 3 of 11 from three-point land, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Finished with a -9. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 turnovers, and 3 steals. So he came up big for them. He gave them a nice boost to get them to within being able to win the game, but we just had a little bit more than they did. They kind of fell flat in the overtime. Yogi Ferrell had 8 points. He should have shot more. He went 4 of 4. He had a +8. He had 2 assists and also a steal. Giles had 6 points on 3 of 5. He was a plus 13. He had an offensive rebound. He had 7 overall rebounds. He had a turnover, a steal, and a block. Justin Jackson didn't look like he was on very well. He finished with 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3-point land. He finished with a -2. He had an offensive rebound, 3 total rebounds, 2 assists, a turnover, and 2 steals. Costa Koufis, he played like 7 minutes, but he finished with 2 points on 1 of 2 shooting. He finished with a -12. He had no offensive rebounds. He had 3 overall rebounds, an assist, and a turnover. So all around, solid effort from the Blazers last night. They didn't have it at first. Like, they had it at first. Like, they were doing well, and then they went cold, real cold, in like the 3rd quarter and had to fight back. Like, they ended up finishing the game with a 22-7 run to win. But they were up 12 at halftime, and the Kings made one of their comebacks that they normally do, especially at home. They've been making a lot of comebacks lately, but their comeback attempt fell just a little bit short, and that has a lot to do with the way the Blazers play defense, especially going into that overtime. These guys couldn't score. It became more predictable on the offensive end, and that has a lot to do with the defensive schemes that the Blazers played late in the 4th and into that overtime. Our next game is against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that'll be the first time that both teams get to play each other. And I definitely look forward to that game, because what I've seen from the OKC Thunder, I believe that they aren't as good as their record indicates. And I believe that the Blazers can definitely get that win. Like, we went 4-0 against them last year. I don't see that happening again this year, but I do believe that we can take that game. It's our first game looking at them, and we'll be at the Moda Center. We get 2 days rest. Dame is sick, so that'll be good for him. He can get his little bit of rest. You know, Sacramento isn't that far away from Oregon, so that's probably maybe a 3.5-hour flight. So they probably are already home. They can rest, get a little practice in, maybe tomorrow, little shoot-around session, and then go ahead and play these guys. I think that we go ahead and get that win. But it's your boy P Money, and I'm gonna get off this. Happy New Year's, y'all.